Hi everyone. So here we are with another free 10-minute ukulele lesson. I think this is number 7 now. If you have a chance to look at the others, 1 to 6, they can be found on my YouTube channel. What are we going to talk about today? Well, a topic that's very close to my heart. That is moving beyond the 3rd fret. Yes, da, da, da. Yes, it's not as hard as you think. This is going to be an introduction into it. I've only got 10 minutes. In fact, I've got 9 minutes now. And I'm going to explain just some of the things behind the theory and hopefully get you all on board and how to move from down here to up here. So let's get right on with it. So as you probably know, I play a lot of melody on the ukulele, and always I've got to find with the melody some chords in the location of where the picking notes are. So for example, if I'm playing something like Somewhere My Love, okay, we could have, but the next notes are right up here. Yeah, and you might say to me, well, why don't you play a C and then reach up with your little finger? Well, in this particular case, I could probably manage that. However, there are some tunes where there's a span, or there could be a span of 7 or 8 frets, which is near impossible. So therefore, we need to find, if this is our correct chord, an inversion of it, which just so happens to be here. Now, without getting too technical, I will explain why that works in a moment, but first, have a listen to this. Now, how nice does that sound? Because the chord is amongst where the melody notes are, and everything just works without any stretches or anything like that. Let me give you another example. So if we were to play the theme from Love Story, we've got sort of melody up here. Okay, now how am I going to do that? I wouldn't be able to do it with a chord shape down here. I have to find an inversion. So the inversion in this case is here. So listen to this. How nice do those sound? However, before you can start playing inversions, you need to find out how they are worked out. And that's where we're going next. So going back to the piece Somewhere My Love, which was in C major, I actually used an inversion here. Now, let me explain first of all about the major chord itself. So a major chord is made up of 3 components or 3 notes, okay? Now, if you were playing on a piano and you were going to play in sort of alphabetical sequence, it would actually be the notes of C, E, and G, okay? C, E, and G would give you a C major chord. Now, here's the fun bit. It doesn't matter what order you play them in. Yeah, so as well as C, E, and G being the chord of C major, I could go the other way around. I could go E, C, G. I could go G, C, E. I could go E, C, G. I might have said that one, but you get the idea. It doesn't matter how those components are actually put together as long as you've got those 3. Okay, so let's have a look at our ukulele and see where those notes are. But hang on a minute, I've got 4 strings here, and when I play a C major, I've got more things going on than 3. I've got 4 because I've got 4 strings. So let's have a look in closer detail of what we've got, starting from string number 4, which is closest to our nose, okay, and string 1 is closest to our toes. Starting from 4, what have we got? We've got a G, we've got a C, we've got an E, and what's next? We've got another C. So it might be an octave higher, but at the end of the day, it still is another C. Now, when you see a pianist on a piano and they've got these, like, both hands on the keyboards, and you think, well, they've got 10 fingers, what on earth are they doing? All they're doing is duplications of the existing notes. So if I've got C, E, and G, they might have that there. They might have another C up here. They might have a C in the bass. They might have a G in the bass, and so on and so forth. all they're doing is adding extra ones of the same thing. They may be a different octave, but it doesn't matter. It will not change the chord structure itself. So if I have got G, C, E and C, and I said to you before, I could actually play an inversion of the C major here. We better check that all the notes do actually tally up. So should we do that? So with your sheet, have a look at this shape, okay? And let's work out what we've got. So we've got basically a G. Yeah, the next one down. Oh, another G. Okay, so we don't want two Gs, so we cancel one of those off. So we've got a G. Next one is going to be an E and a C. Okay, it could be that the pattern I used was slightly different and the order was in completely the opposite order, but it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what the order is or the octaves where they are. Okay, so what happens if we play a minor chord? Now with a minor chord, it's exactly the same as the major in the number of components. So whether you call them notes, whether you call them components, or whatever you want to call them, there are three things to a minor chord, just like there are three parts to a major chord. So let's have a look at that other piece I was playing, Theme from Love Story. It was actually using a C minor chord. Okay, so what's going on in that C minor chord? Have a look on your sheet. And your sheet will show you we've got a G, we've got an E flat, we've got a G again, and a C. Now, because we've got two Gs, we're going to get rid of one of those straight away because it's just a repeat. So the three core elements of the minor chord or the C minor chord are G, E flat, and C. Now, when I played the Theme from Love Story, I actually went up to this inversion here. So again, let's have a look at the sheet and check we've got the same notes. Remember, it doesn't matter what octave they're in, it's as long as they are the same components. So let's have a look. So what have we got? If we play this here, have a look at the diagram. The first one is G. Yeah, then we've got, oh, another G. So we need to cancel that second one out and just call it G for now. So one G, we've got a C, and we've got an E flat. So G, C, E flat. And here we've got G, E flat, and C. Okay, so this proves the point that the order has changed and also the octaves have changed. However, this is a C minor. This is a C minor. This is a C major. This is a C major. So far we've spoken about major chords, minor chords. We're now going to go to dominant seventh chords. Right, now seventh chords, or their true name, which is a dominant seventh chords, could be found like this. So we have this one, no particular order, a C7. I could have this one, an F7. I could have this one, an A7. So there are many, many seventh chords, but the true name is dominant seventh. Now, if you're going to pick one thing up from this lesson today, they are called dominant sevenths, not sevenths. So why do I sort of try and push this point? Well, the point is because there are other types of sevenths. We won't go into great detail, but we have major sevenths, we have minor sevenths, we have augmented sevenths, and we have diminished sevenths. Again, in no particular order, but all those things have got sevenths on. So it's always worth clarifying that we're playing a dominant seventh. So let's have a look at one of the dominant seventh chords. What I'm going to play for you is an E dominant seventh. So if you have a look on your sheet, you'll see that the E dominant seventh is made up of 4 components, not 3 like a major and a minor. There are 4 individual components to a dominant seventh. On the E seventh, let's have a look. Look on your sheet as well. Starting from string 4, let's work downwards to our toes. Okay, so we have A flat, we have a D, we have an E, we have a B. Okay, now I'm going to play an inversion of that, which will be here. Why it should be there, I'm going to explain in the next week's upload. But for now, just take my word for it, that is an inversion of that. And I'm going to prove it to you, okay? So we had A flat, D, E and B. So we've got to find A flat, D, E and B up here. Or they could be in another order. Remember, it doesn't matter what the order is, it doesn't matter what the octaves are, as long as we have got those components of A flat, D, E and B. And let's have a look. Okay, so what have we got? So we got the B here on the 4th string. We've got the E here on the 3rd string. We've got an A flat on the 2nd string. And we've got a D on the 1st string. So even though they're in a different order, and we got some low notes here and some high notes here, that doesn't matter one iota, okay? It's the combination of the notes which has to stay the same. Upside down, left to right, backwards, forwards, whichever way you want to do it, it's still going to be the same chord if it has the same core components. So because this is an introduction to inversions and things, I'm going to leave it there because we've looked now at 3 different types of chords. We looked at a major chord and a minor chord with 3 different components. And we also looked at a dominant 7th chord, and that had 4 components. And what do we take away from today? We've learnt that basically of those 3 components, it doesn't matter what order they're going to be in if we find an inversion. And it doesn't matter what octave they're in either, as long as those components are the same as down there. Now, next time around, what I'm going to do is we're going to look in more detail on the fretboard. And we're going to look at the notes of our fretboard. We're also going to look at the chords, how this D7 should become up to there an E7. So I'm going to explain it in great detail, but in a fun way, hopefully. So until the next time, hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe and you'll be notified when the next one comes along, and I'll see you then. Until then, take care, stay safe. Ta-ra!